Hello, and welcome to English 121, Spring Semester 2015, Section 510. My name's Amy Hawley, and I'm going to be your professor this semester. If you're watching this video right now, it's because you were able to log in to D2L and click on our classes page on your main home screen. What you're looking at right now is our classes primary D2L shell. This is what you'll see when you click on the link for our course in your main home D2L screen. You will always see this news item highlighted in the middle. If you're watching this video, it's because you were able to follow the link in the first news item. Good job! You've already completed your first step toward being successful in this course. This is the main page where I'll post weekly directives for what you need to do for homework and major writing assignments throughout the semester. From here, you want to go to the content link first. This is where you will find all of the relevant and important materials for our course. You want to start by clicking on the Course Overview module. It says Start Here, so it shouldn't be too difficult to figure out. Here, you can watch a video that introduces you to me, your professor. You can access the syllabus and course schedule, which you should download and print out and keep for your records. And you can access some other important materials that I'll go over in just a minute. First, let's take a look at the syllabus. Open it up and it should automatically download. You'll see a lot of important information at the top about myself and the course, as well as our college-wide requirements for the course and some information about online learning faculty at our college. You'll also see the course description, which outlines everything that we will cover in this course, as well as the main objectives for your learning this semester. This is a guaranteed transfer course, which means that the 121 course you'll be taking this semester at FRCC is exactly the same as any other Composition 1 level course you would take at any other college in the state of Colorado. Scrolling down, you can see the required materials, the name of our textbook, and there's also a requirement that we will be using Microsoft Office files to upload and download over the course of the semester. This is because I need you to be able to save things in either Doc or DocX format so that I can access them for grading. This just goes over a little bit more information about D2L, how to submit your assignments, and my late policy, which is that I do not accept late work. There are Dropbox deadlines on everything on D2L, so if you are late, you will not be able to upload your materials to the Dropbox or the discussion forum for points. A little bit further down here, you can see what your grade will consist of this semester. We have 65% of the course comprising major writing assignments or essays, and then we have some weekly homework assignments and other intermittent activities throughout the semester that will be for points. I mentioned that I do not accept late work except in extreme circumstances which need to be discussed ahead of time. Grades are final. You'll need to do all of your revising work before the due dates, and I would welcome the opportunity to help you with your drafts before they are due. I also welcome the opportunity to discuss any grades with you, but we must do so in a conference, either over the phone or via some other kind of web software. There are some other important dates here and also the college's policy on attendance. Because this is an online class, you'll need to conduct and participate in one academically related activity before 6 p.m. on February 22nd. You can complete the syllabus quiz and I will automatically exempt you from the no-show penalty. Here we have some other college and campus-wide policies, and then two very important components of the course, discussions and workshops. Every week I'll have an online discussion that you must participate in worth 20 points. On weeks when we conduct a peer review workshop with each other's draft writing, that will take the place of the discussion assignment for that week. So make sure that you go back and review our policy on workshops and discussions. There are also some other college-wide policies here relating to online behavior, academic integrity, and plagiarism, as well as grading and some other student services information. Make sure that you review the entire syllabus and, as I said, print and keep a copy for your records. Okay, going back to the course overview, the other important document that you'll be accessing here from the course content is your course schedule. This is another very important tool for you to be successful in our course. Here you'll see each week laid out step by step. You have the dates covered, the material that we will be discussing that week, including the themes and topics for discussion, important due dates, readings of articles from outside of your textbooks that can be accessed through D2L, and then finally readings from your textbook that you'll have to complete reading matrices for. Be sure that you have completed everything in each row by Sunday night of the particular week at midnight. You'll see here that you do have a discussion, as I mentioned, every single week. In cases when we have a rough draft workshop, that will take the place of the discussion requirement for that week. When you complete a discussion, you will be given an assignment and you need to upload your original work by Wednesday of the week that it's assigned. Then you'll need to read and comment on 2 of your peers' work by Friday of that week. And finally, read the comments that you received and write a final end reflection that responds to the comments you received and your experience completing the overall discussion that will be due at midnight on Sunday of each week. Some weeks you'll have extra assignments, such as, for example, in week 2, there's a quiz over the syllabus and course policies that I'm discussing right now. And then you also have weekly reading matrices, which are graphic organizers that you'll need to fill out as you take notes on the textbook readings. I'll go over those reading matrix assignment again in just a minute, but just make sure that you're keeping track of the dates here, the important due dates here, and the readings on the right-hand side of the schedule. Now, going back to our course overview, you can also find some materials that will give you just a few more strategies to be successful in this course. We have some online learning policies, strategies for success in online classes, and the basic D2L tutorial information here. There's also some background information on your textbook, tips for communicating in online classes, and then finally, very important, are the rubrics for those weekly reading matrix and discussion assignments that I mentioned before. A lot of students struggle with my expectations for these weekly assignments and forget that there is a rubric here to go back and reference. So make sure you're checking the rubrics as you complete the assignments each week. Let's take a look at the reading matrix graphic organizers that you'll take notes on as you read the text for each week. They're worth 5 points each and there are 5 sections. You'll be given 3 note-taking columns in the middle where you will fill in notes regarding a main idea that I have highlighted at the top. There's also an is about section at the beginning and a so what section at the end. So this rubric breaks down what you need to do for each section in order to get the various point amounts. I'll show you an example in just a little bit. Now let's take a look at the discussion rubric for our weekly discussions, worth 20 points. You can see that you do need to have your original post up by Wednesday of the week when it's assigned. You need to respond to your peers by Friday of that week, and then you need a final reflection posted by Sunday night in order to be successful on these assignments. So here again is the breakdown when each component of the assignment is due and how the points will be evaluated. You will receive specific instructions on a weekly basis as we conduct these activities. Going back to the content link, let's take a look at the overall table of contents for the course as a whole. You can see below the course overview that there are individual weekly modules throughout the semester. Each module will have the materials and activities that you will need in order to complete that week's assignments. Let's take a look at week 1. There will always be lecture materials and homework activities. In the case that we are introducing a new major writing assignment, you will also have some materials for that, or if the assignment is due, we'll have access to a Dropbox here where you can turn in the assignment. You can see that for week 1, we have our first essay, the summary. First, click on the essay itself, and you'll be taken to the assignment sheet that breaks down the objectives and what you'll be doing, as well as some strategies for the assignment, and finally the rubric itself so you can see what I'll be grading you on and get a sense of what I'm looking for. Going back to week 1, you can also see that there is a sample of the essay, some lecture materials that correspond to the textbook reading, and the reading matrices if you have any that are going to be due. Click on the lecture materials links and it will take you to the YouTube videos for my lecture for that particular day. Also under week 1, you'll see a separate section for the homework activities, which include an article that you need to read, your discussion for the week, and any reading matrices that are due for that particular week. This week's discussion gets at your preferred type of intelligence and learning needs. If you click on these, it will take you to the reading matrix itself. This is how I described it to you before, with your Is About section at the beginning, 3 note-taking columns that you need to fill in, and a So What section at the end. You can fill this in, save it, and then upload it back to the appropriate Dropbox whenever it is due. Once you're in the Dropbox for that particular assignment, you'll see that you can upload the document as an attachment from where you've typed it in and saved it on your hard drive. Be sure to click Add and Submit in order to make sure that I can access your work. So let's go back to content and take a look at week 2 now. Some weeks you'll have extra homework activities, such as in week 2, you have the quiz over the syllabus to complete in order to avoid the no-show penalty. You can also access that quiz by clicking on the Quizzes tab here at the top, just as you can access the Dropbox, the discussions, and the content easily by clicking on these tabs on your main toolbar. But remember, everything can also be found under Content, and that's your one-stop shop for where to go to know what you'll be doing on a weekly basis. Let's go back to the main homepage for our course. The last thing that you will use this D2L shell for is your gradebook. You can access your grades by clicking on the Gradebook tab here at the top right of your screen and scrolling down to the Grades link. Here you'll see a breakdown of everything you will receive points for over the course of the semester, including your 3 major essays that you're going to write, your weekly discussions and peer review workshops, and the reading matrices that you'll need to complete, as well as any additional homework assignments throughout the semester. You'll also be able to see your total score and the overall points averaged to a percentage. Finally, you also might want to use the gradebook to contact other members of the class. You can do that by clicking on the class link or class list tab under the gradebook tab. Here you can see your peers' names, can view their profiles, and send them an email just by clicking on their names. Alright, let's just have a quick overview once again. Your main page is where you'll view the news, where you'll see the weekly objectives posted at the beginning of each week. Here's the Content tab, including the course overview to become familiar with the course, which will give you an overview of the site as well as our weekly materials and course activities. On a weekly basis, you need to check each module to see which major essay you're working on at the time, the lecture materials that you'll need to get to access and view for that week, the homework activities including the weekly discussions or any other outside readings, the reading matrices, and any other intermittent homework assignments that may be assigned. And then finally, use the Gradebook tab to see how well you're doing in the course as well as contact your peers. If you have any questions about this course or about online learning in general, please feel free to contact me through my D2L email by clicking on my name in the class list or by contacting me at my Front Range email, amy.holly@frontrange.edu. Please respect college-wide policy and use your student at CCCS email to send emails to my Front Range address about school-related activities, but you can always email me internally through our D2L shell. Thank you for enrolling in English 121 Section 510. I look forward to working with all of you.